Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about something most people overlook. Something that hits deeper than just the surface. It's not just about clothes, shoes, or looking good for Instagram. It's about owning yourself, your presence, and your energy in every room you walk into. I'm talking about becoming addicted to your appearance, not in a shallow way, but in a disciplined, transformative way that commands respect, builds confidence, and opens doors you didn't even know existed. See, the world doesn't owe you anything. Opportunities don't knock because you feel like it. They come to the ones who present themselves as the prize, the ones who carry themselves with pride, discipline, and style. And that starts with how you look, but more importantly, how you value yourself enough to show it. Let me break it down into 5 key points that will change how you see yourself and how the world sees you. Everything starts with self-respect. When you look in the mirror, are you proud of the person staring back at you? I'm not talking about being perfect or having some Instagram-ready look. I'm talking about seeing a person who shows up for themselves every single day. Your appearance isn't just a reflection of your style. It's a reflection of the respect you have for yourself. Every choice you make about how you present yourself, every effort you put into your grooming, your clothes, your posture, it all sends a message to the world about how you value yourself. And the world, whether it admits it or not, mirrors that energy. People respond to the way you carry yourself before you even say a word. Think about the people you look up to, the ones you admire, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. They don't stumble into greatness wearing wrinkled clothes or ignoring themselves. Michael Jordan wasn't just a legend on the court because of his skill. He carried himself with confidence. From his sneakers to his suits, every detail mattered. The way he presented himself said, I respect myself, and you should too. That's the power of self-respect. It's the invisible currency you carry into every room. And respect, once earned from yourself, naturally commands respect from others. Start small. It doesn't have to be some extravagant makeover. It can be as simple as taking care of your hair, choosing clothes that fit, keeping your posture straight. These are subtle but powerful ways to show that you honor yourself. When you start investing in these small details, something shifts inside. You start walking differently, speaking different. The mirror becomes more than glass. It becomes a reflection of your ambition, your discipline, your commitment to the life you're building. Self-respect isn't built overnight. It's built every time you choose to take care of yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Every time you resist the urge to let yourself go. Every time you choose to look good, not for someone else, but for you, you're reinforcing a habit of self-respect. It's a discipline, and discipline over time transforms into power. And power attracts opportunities. When you respect yourself, the world starts to notice. People want to be around those who value themselves. You ever notice that someone who's always put together just seems to have it together in every aspect of life? That's not an accident. That's the reflection of someone who respects their own energy and demands the same from the world. Respect for yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. I remember a story about a friend of mine. He was brilliant, full of talent, but he never dressed well. He thought his skills would speak for themselves. But when he finally decided to invest in his appearance, the shift was immediate. Suddenly, people started treating him differently. Doors opened. Opportunities he had been waiting for just seemed to appear. It wasn't magic. It was the way he presented himself to the world. That's the power of self-respect. It changes perception, and perception often becomes reality. Respecting your reflection also means being honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and confront the areas where you're neglecting yourself. Maybe it's your health, your fitness, your grooming, your wardrobe, your posture. Whatever it is, acknowledge it and take action. Every effort you make compounds over time. Self-respect isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling good and showing up fully in life. When you honor yourself, you naturally elevate everything around you, your relationships, your career, your mindset. There's another layer to self-respect that most people overlook. It's the energy you carry. When you respect yourself, your energy changes. You walk into rooms with confidence, even on the days you feel tired or unmotivated. Your presence becomes magnetic. People gravitate towards you because there's a sense of self-assuredness that can't be faked. And the more you invest in yourself, the stronger that energy becomes. Think about the people in history who commanded respect without saying much. Leaders, icons, visionaries. Their appearance, their demeanor, their discipline reflected the respect they had for themselves. You don't need a crown to command respect. You need to own yourself fully. That starts with how you see yourself in the mirror. The mirror isn't just a tool. It's a checkpoint, a daily reminder that how you carry yourself is a reflection of the life you're building. Self-respect also teaches you boundaries. When you respect yourself, you set limits on what you allow in your life. You stop letting people disrespect you, and you stop accepting mediocrity from yourself. The way you show up visually is an extension of that. Dressing well, carrying yourself with dignity, grooming yourself, it all sends the same message as saying, I won't accept less than I deserve. And when you operate from that place, the world has no choice but to rise to meet your standard. It's not about vanity, it's about value. When you respect yourself, you communicate value without uttering a word. People can feel it in your energy, see it in your posture, and recognize it in the care you put into your appearance. And this value doesn't just influence others, it transforms you internally. You start holding yourself to higher standards, making better decisions, and walking paths that align with the respect you show yourself. Look, life is a series of reflections. The way you present yourself affects the way others respond, the opportunities that come your way, and even how you perceive your own potential. Every day you have a choice to step in front of that mirror and commit to showing up as the best version of yourself. Small things matter. Clean shoes, neat clothes, healthy hair, good posture. These might seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of self-respect. And when self-respect becomes habitual, it becomes unstoppable. Respecting your reflection also creates accountability. You can't half-step. You can't ignore yourself one day and expect the world to treat you differently the next. Self-respect is consistent. It's not conditional on how you feel or what others think. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise that you will honor your energy, your presence, and your life every single day. That kind of commitment shifts everything. It changes how you walk, how you speak, how you dream. The truth is, nobody's going to hand you respect. Nobody's going to knock on your door with opportunities just because you're talented or smart. You have to earn it in every way, starting with how you carry yourself. Respect your reflection, and you will start to demand respect from the world naturally. And once you own that, once you internalize that power, you begin to live at a different level. People will treat you differently because you've chosen to treat yourself differently. It all starts with small, intentional choices every day. The moment you begin investing in your appearance, in your energy, in the way you carry yourself, you're not just dressing well. You're building your legacy. You're saying to the world, I value myself. I honor my life. I respect my journey. And the world will respond in kind. That is the essence of self-respect. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's transformative. It doesn't require fame, money, or validation. It only requires you to look in the mirror, see the person you could be, and refuse to settle for anything less. Looking good isn't luck. It's discipline. People see the finished product and think it just happened like magic, but the truth is every step, every choice, every sacrifice is what creates that image of success. Discipline is the foundation. The same way you train your mind to focus, the same way you grind in your business to see results, you must train your body, your appearance, and the way you carry yourself. It's a daily investment, not a one-time act. You can't show up one day looking sharp and expect that energy to sustain you if you've been neglecting yourself for months or years. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and it starts with how seriously you take yourself. Think about a marathon runner. You don't just wake up one morning, lace up your shoes, and cross the finish line. You train for months, pushing your body to limits it never knew it could reach. You adjust your diet, manage your rest, and build endurance step by step. The results don't appear overnight. You're earned through consistent, sometimes grueling effort. Your body becomes a reflection of your dedication, your choices, and your persistence. Your appearance works in the same way. The way you dress, the way you groom yourself, the way you carry your energy, all of it is a reflection of your discipline. Every day, every decision matters. Because discipline compounds over time. Discipline isn't just about putting on the right clothes or hitting the gym. It's about intentionally showing up for yourself in ways that create results. Dressing intentionally is a form of respect. Respect for yourself, your time, and your space. Every shirt you iron, every shoe you polish, every detail matters because they all communicate to the world that you are someone who values themselves. Exercise isn't just about vanity. It's about strength, endurance, resilience. Every push-up, every run, every lift is training your mind to endure discomfort, to push past excuses, to build consistency. When you develop that kind of discipline, it spills into every part of your life. People notice that energy. They feel it. They may not see the early mornings or late nights, but they see the presence you carry, the confidence you exude, and they respect it. Discipline means committing to habits that others overlook. It's waking up early when the rest of the world sleeps, showing up even when you don't feel like it, maintaining standards when nobody is watching. This kind of dedication shows up in how your appearance mirrors your mindset. If your body is disciplined, your posture is disciplined, your energy is disciplined, your thoughts are disciplined. It's all connected. You can't separate your appearance from your mental and emotional discipline. They reinforce each other. When you look good because you are disciplined, you start to feel unstoppable. That feeling radiates. People don't just see you, they feel your presence. Discipline also teaches accountability. When you commit to looking good and honoring yourself daily, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, weather, or mood. You train yourself to act regardless of how you feel, because you understand that consistency beats motivation every time. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is permanent. The people who make the most impact, who inspire the most respect, are not always the most naturally talented. They're the ones who show up day after day, rain or shine, put in the work that others neglect. Every time you decide to sleep enough to recharge your body, eat in a way that fuels you rather than destroys you, or maintain your grooming routine, you're investing in yourself in a way that compounds. Discipline is the silent force behind success. It's invisible in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, it becomes unmistakable. Your appearance becomes a reflection of this force. People may not know your story, but they see the results. They see the energy, the presence, the confidence, the alignment between who you are and how you show up. I remember a story about a young man I once knew. He was smart, talented, full of potential, but his energy didn't match his ambition. He was inconsistent. Some days he showed up polished, other days he looked like he didn't care. We talked about discipline, not just in business, not just in working out, but in how he presented himself to the world every day. He started small, he woke up early, he committed to daily grooming, he dressed intentionally. He exercised not for vanity, but to feel strong and capable. Within months, the transformation wasn't just in his appearance, it was in how people responded to him. Doors that had been closed began to open. Opportunities that had been out of reach were now within grasp. The discipline he built in his appearance carried over into his mindset and his actions. What started as small, intentional choices became unstoppable momentum. Discipline is also about vision. You can't separate the way you look from the life you want to create. If you want success, if you want influence, if you want respect, your appearance must align with that vision. The person you see in the mirror today should reflect the person you're committed to becoming tomorrow. Every choice, what you wear, how you move, how you take care of yourself, is a vote for the future version of you. If you consistently choose to honor yourself, the universe eventually aligns with your consistency. People notice, energy notices, opportunities notice. And let's not forget resilience. Discipline teaches you to endure when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient. When it's inconvenient, it's easy to skip a workout, to sleep in, to throw on whatever is closest. But discipline is doing what needs to be done even when nobody is watching. That resilience builds character. That character becomes visible in your posture, your grooming, the confidence in your stride, the way your presence fills a room. People feel that, they respect that. Discipline is not restrictive, it's liberating. When you discipline yourself to take care of your appearance, you're freeing yourself from chaos. You're freeing yourself from uncertainty. You're creating predictability in your life that builds confidence and clarity. You're teaching yourself that you are worthy of time, effort, and investment. And once you internalize that, it changes the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with others, and the way you pursue your dream. You see, discipline compounds. Every disciplined choice you make today is a seed planted for the future. Your appearance, your energy, your presence, everything blossoms from it. People may admire you, respect you, or follow you for it, but the real reward is internal. It's knowing that you are committed to your craft, committed to your life, and committed to yourself. The way you look is just a surface reflection of a deeper truth, that you honor the grind, you respect the process, and you refuse to settle for less than your potential. Discipline teaches patience. You can't rush results. You can't force respect. You can't fake confidence. All of these things are cultivated over time, built brick by brick with consistent effort. The marathon analogy is real. Your body, your presence, your energy, your appearance, they all take time, care, and consistent training. There's no shortcut, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling a lie. The foundation is discipline. Once you embrace that, the rest follows naturally. And ultimately, discipline is a reflection of self-love. When you prioritize your appearance, when you invest time, energy, and care into yourself, You're sending a message to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you matter, that your life matters, that your goals matter, that your presence matters. When discipline becomes your default, the energy you carry becomes magnetic. People feel it, opportunities are drawn to it, and your life, your vision, your purpose all begin to align with the consistency you've built. Discipline is the foundation. It's the invisible architecture of your life, the backbone of how you look, how you move, how you feel, and how you succeed. Without it, everything else is fragile. With it, anything is possible. It's the small things that make the difference. People always talk about talent, skill, and ambition, but what separates those who succeed from those who get overlooked often isn't what's visible at first glance. It's the attention to detail. A clean shirt, polished shoes, a well-groomed beard, the way you fold your clothes, or even the way you carry your wallet. These are the subtle things people notice before they even remember your face. The details matter because they tell a story about who you are, whether you want them to or not. You might think nobody's paying attention, but the truth is, the world is always noticing, always reading, always sizing you up. Take someone like Steve Jobs. His wardrobe was simple. Black turtleneck jeans, sneakers. At first, it seems effortless, even casual. But that simplicity wasn't accidental. It was intentional. Every detail reflected his focus, his vision, and his discipline. When you look at the way someone carries themselves and the thought behind their appearance, you understand immediately that they operate on another level. The small things are never small. They're the signals you send to the world about your standards, your values, and your mindset. Attention to detail is a silent language. You don't have to say a word for people to perceive it. The polish on your shoes communicates pride in your work. The fit of your clothes communicates respect for yourself. The care you take in grooming communicates that you value the time and energy you invest in life. And once you start thinking this way, your approach to everything changes. Not just your appearance, but your work, your relationships, your habits. Attention to detail spills over into every part of your life because it's not just about being seen. It's about being deliberate, intentional, and fully present in everything you do. I remember meeting a young man fresh out of college, ambitious, full of ideas, but rough around the edges. He had the talent, the drive, the vision, but he didn't understand the power of details. One day I told him to start paying attention to how he showed up, what shoes he wore, how his clothes fit, even the way he carried his papers into meetings. First he laughed it off, thinking it didn't matter. Weeks later I noticed a shift. His presence had changed. People started listening when he spoke. Opportunities opened up. Doors that had been closed were now ajar. It wasn't magic. It was the power of attention to detail. Small, consistent choices created a perception that commanded respect. The truth is, people remember how you made them feel before they remember what you said. And part of that feeling comes from the subtle cues your appearance sends. The way your clothes fit, the alignment of your posture, the neatness of your hands, even the way you organize your desk. These details signal to others that you operate at a higher standard. They tell people that you care enough to do things intentionally, that you're reliable, meticulous, and capable of handling bigger things. And when that perception builds over time, it becomes a powerful tool in your life. Attention to detail isn't just about looking sharp. It's about cultivating a mindset of excellence. It trains you to notice what others overlook, to care about the small things that compound into big results. It teaches patience because perfecting details takes time, effort, and persistence. It teaches humility because no matter how talented you are, if you neglect the details, your greatness can be overlooked. And it teaches pride, not arrogance, but a quiet pride in knowing that the effort you put in speaks louder than any words ever could. Look at any successful person you admire. The ones who stand out aren't just skilled, they're meticulous. They don't leave things to chance. They know that the way they show up reflects not only their personality, but their work ethic and vision. Your appearance should tell a story before you even speak. When you walk into a room, when you shake someone's hand, when you sit across the table from a potential opportunity, every detail matters. And if those details are aligned with the vision you hold for your life, people start to take notice, not because you ask for attention, but because excellence always draws attention. Attention to detail also builds confidence. When you know you've taken the time to present yourself intentionally, it shows in the way you move. You walk taller, speak clearer, and interact with the world differently. Confidence isn't just something you feel internally, it's something people can sense externally. The world responds to energy, and energy is amplified when every detail is in place. Even the smallest details, like a crisp collar or polished shoes, become part of your personal brand. They signal that you respect yourself and the space you occupy. This focus on detail extends beyond clothing and grooming. It's about cultivating habits that support your vision, how you manage your time, how you respond to emails, how you keep your living or working space. These are all details that communicate who you are. People are watching, even when you think they aren't. And the ones who consistently show care, consistency, and intentionality in every detail are the ones who rise above the crowd. The details aren't decoration, they're the foundation of influence. But I want you to understand that this isn't just about impressing others, it's about honoring yourself. Every detail you perfect, every element you refine is a reflection of your self-respect and your commitment to excellence. When you start to care about the little things, you're sending a message to yourself that you are worth the effort. That mindset translates into every area of your life, from relationships to business to personal growth. Excellence becomes contagious because when you respect the details, you create an environment where others are inspired to raise their own standards. And there's power in consistency. One polished outfit isn't enough. One well-groomed beard or a single day of meticulous care doesn't build a legacy. Excellence is cumulative. It's the daily commitment to refining yourself, noticing the little things and correcting what's off. Over time, the cumulative effect of these small actions becomes massive. You become someone who doesn't just participate, you dominate. You become the standard that others measure themselves against. People notice it, opportunities notice it, life notices it. Attention to detail also protects you. Small mistakes in your appearance can create assumptions or misperceptions. People judge what they see before they hear what you say. That's a reality, and ignoring it puts you at a disadvantage. When you commit to excellence in the details, you remove excuses for judgment. You control the narrative about yourself before anyone else has a chance to define it. You craft an image that aligns with your vision and communicates your value clearly without saying a word. At the end of the day, the details are the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. The difference between being noticed and being remembered. The difference between opportunities slipping past and doors opening wide. Every time you invest in the small things, you're investing in your future, your legacy, and the way the world perceives you. The small things aren't small. They're everything. They compound, they resonate, they amplify the presence you carry into every room, every interaction, and every stage of your life. So, look at your shoes, your clothes, your grooming, and the way you carry your things. Ask yourself, does this tell the story I want the world to hear? If not, make it intentional. Pay attention to the small things, because excellence is built in the details. Every effort you put in creates momentum, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. People notice, energy notices, life notices. And when the details are aligned with your vision, you become a force that cannot be ignored. When you invest in yourself, it shows. The world can see it even before you open your mouth. Clothes, grooming, style, they're not just about looking good. They're more than aesthetics. They're tools, instruments you use to communicate to the world that you value yourself, that you respect your life, and that you're serious about the path you're walking. Confidence isn't something you are born with. It's something you cultivate. An investment in yourself is how you build it. Every dollar, every hour, every bit of effort you put into refining your presence is like depositing into a bank of personal power. And the more you deposit, the more confidence compounds until it becomes magnetic. People feel it, energy feels it, opportunities feel it. I've seen it over and over again. The way someone presents themselves, the way they care for their body, the way they hold their posture, even the smallest details in their grooming or clothing, it all communicates that they are not just here to exist. They're here to command attention, to take up space, and to get results. Confidence is contagious. When you carry it, it opens doors, makes people listen when you speak, and positions you as someone worth noticing. It's not arrogance. It's presence, cultivated through investment in yourself. I remember a young man I once mentored. Brilliant, talented, full of ideas, but every time he walked into a room, whether it was an interview, a meeting, or even a casual gathering, he looked like he was apologizing for existing. His energy was low, his posture slouched, his style mismatched, and people underestimated him immediately. He had the skills, the knowledge, the potential, but none of that mattered in the moment because his presentation didn't match his power. We started small. We focused on refining his style, dressing intentionally, improving his posture, and grooming himself in a way that aligned with his aspirations. Within months, the transformation wasn't just visible, it was palpable. The shift in energy was undeniable. People started listening to him differently. Opportunities he had been chasing began to present themselves naturally. Not only did he land his dream job, but he walked into rooms like he belonged there all along, and the world responded accordingly. That's the power of investing in yourself. Confidence isn't just about external validation. It's about internal alignment. When you show up intentionally, when you put the effort into your appearance, your health, your posture, your grooming, it sends a message to your own mind that you are worthy, capable, and prepared. That internal affirmation becomes external influence. The world doesn't just see it, they respond to it. The way you present yourself is the first layer of trust, the first impression, the first signal to anyone interacting with you that you are someone who deserves attention and respect. And that signal opens doors that talent alone sometimes cannot. Investment in yourself goes beyond clothes and grooming. It's about curating your environment, your habits, and your routines in a way that consistently reinforces your confidence. It's about waking up every day with intention, taking care of your body, feeding your mind with knowledge, and surrounding yourself with people and experiences that elevate you. Confidence grows in the soil of preparation. The more you invest in building yourself, the more roots your confidence takes, and the taller you grow in every room you enter. There's something powerful about visible investment. It's a language that everyone understands. When people see you caring for yourself, they subconsciously understand that you value your time, your presence, and your contributions. That value doesn't go unnoticed. It's magnetic. People want to work with confident individuals. They want to collaborate with those who believe in themselves. They want to follow those who are willing to put in the effort to show up and to carry themselves with a sense of ownership over their lives. Investment in yourself is a signal that you are serious about your goals, your vision, and the life you are creating. I've watched countless stories unfold where a simple shift in self-investment transformed lives. People who were once overlooked, underestimated, and underappreciated suddenly started to command respect, opportunity, and influence. Confidence isn't a switch you flip, it's a muscle you build. And like any muscle, it grows when you challenge it, nurture it, and invest in it consistently. It's the difference between walking into a room unnoticed and walking into a room that feels your presence before you even speak. When you invest in yourself, you stop apologizing for who you are. You stop shrinking to fit someone else's comfort. You stand taller, speak clearer, and engage with the world from a place of power. People respond to that energy because it's real. It's not force. It's not performance. It's alignment between who you are on the inside and how you present yourself on the outside. That alignment breeds authenticity, and authenticity is magnetic. It draws people, opportunities, and success toward you without you having to chase them. Investment in yourself is also about setting a standard. You begin to realize that you are worth time, effort, and attention. When you consistently show up for yourself, you raise the bar for how others treat you. People start to mirror your energy because energy is always reflected. When you value yourself, the world values you in return. That's why investing in yourself is not selfish, it's strategic. It's the foundation of influence. It's the way you step into rooms and naturally command the respect and attention you deserve. Confidence is often mistaken for arrogance, but true confidence comes from knowing your worth and putting in the work to honor it. Every grooming ritual, every intentional outfit, every bit of care you take with your presence is a reinforcement of that worth. It's a daily affirmation that says, I am capable, I am prepared, I am worthy. The world can feel it, opportunities feel it. And when you operate from that energy, doors that were previously closed begin to open, networks grow, and your impact expands. It's also important to understand that investing in yourself is an ongoing process. Confidence isn't built once. It's reinforced daily. Every choice you make to improve, refine, and elevate yourself strengthens your presence. Over time, these consistent investments compound, creating a confidence that is unshakable, magnetic, and undeniable. People notice the consistency. They trust it. They follow it. And most importantly, you begin to trust yourself in ways that make all other challenges in life easier to handle. The young man I mentored is just one example. There are countless others who have transformed their lives simply by understanding that the way you invest in yourself directly affects your energy and your confidence. When your inner discipline aligns with your external presentation, you carry a presence that cannot be ignored. You speak with authority because your life reflects it. You move with purpose because your preparation commands it. And people respond because energy, presence, and alignment are universal languages. Invest in yourself and the world invest in you. It's that simple. Every hour spent refining your style, every choice to maintain your health, every effort to align your energy with your vision is an investment in the currency of confidence. And that confidence is magnetic. It's unstoppable. It opens doors. It positions you in rooms where decisions are made. It creates influence before you even speak. It's proof that the way you show up in the world can literally change the trajectory of your life. Confidence comes from investment, and investment is intentional. It's not just about impressing others. It's about honoring your potential, your presence, and your purpose. When you show up consistently with care, intention, and excellence, the world notices. Opportunities notice, people notice, and most importantly, you notice. You notice the shift in energy, the way doors open, the way relationships evolve, and the way life responds to the person who decided to take themselves seriously. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build brick by brick, day by day, with deliberate investment in yourself. When you do that, you step into a power that no circumstance, opinion, or obstacle can shake. You become magnetic, unstoppable, and undeniable, and that energy, that presence, that confidence will carry you farther than talent alone ever could. The final truth is this: greatness isn't a single moment. It's a habit. It's not about one outfit looking perfect, one day of feeling motivated, or one big effort that magically changes everything. True presence, true respect, true influence is built every single day, and it's built through habits. Looking good, feeling good, being disciplined, it's a daily practice. You can't half-step, you can't pick and choose when to show up for yourself and expect the world to treat you differently. You have to be addicted to the process. You have to make it part of who you are. The moment you treat your appearance as a habit, your energy, your confidence, and your life begin to shift in ways you never imagined. Think of the people you admire, the ones whose aura can't be ignored, whose presence commands respect, whose energy fills every room. They don't have a single moment of brilliance that defines them. They have a lifetime of consistent effort, and it shows. Every day they show up intentional. Every day they maintain the discipline to present themselves in a way that aligns with their vision, their values, and their energy. That consistency over time builds trust. People start to expect excellence from them. Influence grows, doors open, opportunities gravitate toward them naturally, and it all begins with a habit, a commitment to show up fully every single day. When you start thinking of appearance as a habit, you start to see your reflection differently. The mirror stops being a random glance at the way you look today, and it becomes a checkpoint, a daily reminder that your presence matters. You begin to understand that each choice you make, from what you wear to how you groom yourself, is a vote for the version of yourself that commands respect, builds confidence, and attracts opportunity. Habits compound. Small, consistent efforts turn into massive results over time. One polished shoe, one intentional outfit, one disciplined choice may seem small today, but repeat it consistently. It builds a presence that is unmistakable, magnetic, and unstoppable. Consistency is the secret no one talks about. People see results and assume it was instant, effortless, or lucky. They don't see the hundreds of mornings you woke up early to make sure your hair, your posture, and your outfit were aligned with the energy you want to carry. They don't see the nights you went to bed on time so you could wake up refreshed, ready to show up fully. They don't see the attention to the little details, the polished shoes, the crisp collar, the clean lines, the organized wardrobe. These are the daily acts of someone who understands that greatness is built over time through habits that reinforce your vision of yourself. This habit isn't just about impressing others, it's about honoring yourself. When you make grooming, dressing, and self-care non-negotiable, you are sending a message to yourself that you are worth the effort. You are saying that your presence matters, that your energy is valuable, and that you respect the space you occupy. When you live in alignment with that belief every single day, it becomes part of your identity. Your appearance is no longer a chore or a random choice. It's a reflection of the person you are becoming and the life you're building. I remember mentoring a young man who had immense talent, intelligence, and ambition, but he struggled with consistency. Some days he looked put together, other days he didn't. Some days he carried himself with energy, other days he seemed to shrink from the world. We talked about the power of habits, The small daily choices that define how the world perceives you, and more importantly, how you perceive yourself. He began to treat his appearance as a non-negotiable habit. Every morning without fail, he would groom himself intentionally, dress in a way that reflected his goals and carry himself with purpose. Within months, people noticed a shift. His energy changed. The way doors opened for him changed, and the way he felt about himself changed. That's the power of treating appearance as a habit. It's transformative because it's consistent. Habits are what separate those who drift through life from those who shape it. When you start showing up consistently for yourself, when you maintain your energy, your grooming, your style, and your presence as a daily ritual, you begin to command respect effortlessly. People don't question your consistency, they expect it. And once consistency is recognized, influence grows. People trust it, people follow it, people want to be around it. Influence isn't bought or earned in a single day. It's built brick by brick through habits that reflect discipline, intentionality, and self-respect. You also begin to notice something powerful internally when you treat appearance as a habit. Confidence grows because consistency breeds trust in yourself. You start to trust your energy, your presence, and your decisions because you know you're showing up fully every day. Confidence is not about having the perfect outfit or the perfect hair on a given day. It's about knowing that you have invested in yourself enough that the world can see it and feel it every single time. That confidence radiates in the way you speak, the way you move, and the way you handle challenges. It is magnetic. It opens doors and creates opportunities that luck alone could never produce. Starting the day is critical, not tomorrow, not next week. Habits are formed through immediate action. If you delay the transformation of your energy, your presence, and your life. When you commit to showing up fully for yourself every day, you begin to shape the person you are becoming. You begin to define the standard for how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. The world notices, yes, but more importantly, you notice yourself. You see the growth, the discipline, and the investment you're making, and it feeds your momentum. Every day you maintain your habits, you reinforce the identity of someone who is disciplined, confident, and intentional. Habits also protect you. They prevent you from slipping into complacency or letting